Yeah. Oh,
Programa pa may kadjut lang. Programa pa may kadjut lang. And then on October 26, we're going to hold our concert and ETIAP reunion sa Lux Hotel. October. Okay, good noon to all our televiewers of our weekly public affairs program of the Mindanao Daily News Network, ang Kalandrakas. Our main host is in Manila, and we are very glad and grateful that we have a guest here who will be expounding on the importance of many things like vocational education, management, etc. Sir Jerome, of the general manager of Lux Hotel. And we want to greet our followers in other countries, the Cagayan de Oro Association of New York, the Kaamulan Bukidnon of New York, the Intervalley Association of Los Angeles, California, the community of Mrs. Elmar Podja in United Kingdom, and the community of Tricia Isabel Morales in Germany. Good afternoon to all of you. Sa aming mga reporters, aming mga supporters, televiewers, our students all over the Philippines sa ITIAP organization, all over Mindanao, all over Luzon and Visayas. Magandang hapon po at patuloy sa inyong patuloy na pag-suporta sa amin. Thank you very much po. And before we will introduce our special guest today, I'll call on Dr. Manny, our main host of this program, for his opening statement. Take it away, Dr. Manny. Putol-putol. Yeah. Inaayos pa yung yung signal ni Dr. Manny dyan. So, meanwhile, there are many things that we will talk with Mr. Jerome de la Fuente on tourism, on the importance of vocational skills and vocational education, management best practices, and others. And we are very glad that he is also the tourism, how do you call that? Chairman sa Cagayan de Oro. And we can learn very much from him about what is happening in Cagayan de Oro on tourism aspects. So, andyan na ba si Dr. Manny? So, siguro, we can just let him get in. So, the opening statement of our visitor here, Sir Jerome de la Fuente, the General Manager of Lux Hotel. Sir, your just opening message and greetings.
Good afternoon, everybody. And I am lucky and it's my pleasure to come with you on certain issues that's pertaining not just for Cagayan de Oro, Miss, or in the rest of Northern Mindanao. Thank you.
Yes. So, that's it. Ready na ba ang ating main host? Nawala ba siya sa signal?
Wala na.
Nawala na. So,
Ako
we
na
can
yung
just
main
proceed.
host.
Yes.
Anyway,
Anyway, I want you to expound first, Sir Jerome, on tourism.
okay.
Yes.
You know, the president of Oro Chamber has asked me if I can take on the chairmanship of the Oro Chamber on tourism, and I accepted Dr. Jess's invitation. So what does it mean? It means that I sit in the provincial board, meaning Misamis Oriental,
Yes.
on tourism,
Yes.
together with Mrs. Onabia.
Yeah,
that
Mrs.
is,
Onabia, yeah.
a lot of things happening on their part. As a matter of fact, I was very surprised when they handed over their National Development Plan on tourism.
Oh.
2026 to 2024 to 2026.
Oh, very good.
28, I think.
Galing na
It has never been, I've never seen one like this. It's actually in the real world, it's called master plan.
Yeah,
It is
master
called
plan.
the tourism master plan, why
Oh.
the government uses developmental plan. And by reading it, it actually tells me what Misamis Oriental is all about.
Yeah.
Without even having to go to all the places in Misamis Oriental. Now, part of it, of course, is Cagayan de Oro. So I'm hoping that the city tourism will also work on their own master plan. What it tells you basically is what to see from all the different angles of tourism and what is the relevance to the community.
Yes.
I also had the
right.
inaugurational cutting of the new kiosk at the airport. See, developments at the airport have to be fast-tracked only because Philippine Airlines is expanding their two more flights for Cagayan de Oro alone. Hopefully, they will find that one is out of Manila at 11 o'clock and the other one is from Clark,
Yes.
because we want to, basically I want to show people in Luzon what Cagayan de Oro or Misamis Oriental has, and vice versa. The people from northern Mindanao can visit Pampanga. It's more
Yeah.
educational for me to let them go to Baguio. That's and of course the much awaited Cagayan de Oro, Hong Kong Cagayan de Oro.
Before you proceed, sir, I would just like to point out some problems that I observed doon sa Lagindingan Airport natin. Yung bang sinara nila yung dati na pwedeng conveniently the passengers or arriving can be picked up at the other road, tapos doon lang nilipat na lang sa isa. It's very inconvenient.
Okay.
How can you
Okay, I haven't sat down with job, which
Yeah.
I intend to do, part of my role. We are going. See, the problem with Filipinos,
Yeah.
you give them the hand, they want the arm. So the problem is traffic situation. Now, when there are, we want to encourage to be dropped off only. But the problem, people suddenly blocks the entrance of the passenger,
Yes.
including the arrival. So that's what I have to sit down with Job.
Yes, that's
What is
very
more
important.
Actually, what is more important in the airport is they have a lot of space to work on.
Oh.
When Jojo was still the airport, the CAAP manager here, we've talked about changing the name of Lagindingan Airport into New Cagayan de Oro Lagindingan
Oh, mas
Airport.
maganda yun.
The reason is the people in Misamis Oriental thinks that there is a special code for Lagindingan. No, it will still be Cagayan de Oro code. Because you
Yes.
cannot change the code to Lagindingan because this is an international governed. Even the presidents cannot just change the code. These goes
Yes.
rules. And actually right now we're running out of alphabets to give to the countries that are opening up. So some of them are really numbers already. Now, I have gone through a lot of discussions with regards to the airport, because we want to make sure that Cagayan de Oro is of par with other Mindanao airports.
Yeah.
Now, you know, the only international airport in Mindanao is Davao. Now, if you
Really?
notice, before it's called Laguindingan International Airport, now it's called Laguindingan Airport. Finally,
Nawala na yung
wala
international?
nang international kasi
Oh my
it's not an
goodness.
international airport. It is lucky that the Cagayanons or the Mindanao, the northern Mindanao, was given an amount by the former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. But the problem is, by the time it was given, it was inaugurated by Pinoy already.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
which means the cost has gone up. So now
Yeah.
we're trying to get them to move fast because Philippine Airlines has agreed to give us one regional flight, which
Oh,
is Hong Kong.
oh, that's very good.
Now, what does
Very
it
well
mean?
done.
That means the main terminal has to become an international,
Yes.
and there's another side that is an extension that will become the domestic, because
Yeah.
international,
Oh,
you
tama, tama.
need immigrations, customs, quarantine. That is the most important. We don't. If we keep on saying we will wait, we will never get this.
Nako, tama,
Now,
tama.
the Department of Transportation came down 3 weeks ago and asked me, how do I sustain it? Simple.
Yeah.
We have to call on the Muslim brothers and sisters because they love to travel. And when they travel, like any Chinese, Filipino, there's always four. All we need to do is cover that account because I'm sure it's easy to call on the Cagayanons and the Misamis Oriental people.
Yeah.
Now, this will be relevant because people from Bukidnon will have to come all the way to Cagayan de Oro
Yes.
and
Oh,
fly.
that's it. You're correct.
There is also Lano del Norte, Lano del Sur people who will come to Cagayan de Oro at the
Yes.
Indigan Airport to fly.
Yes,
So
that's
it
correct.
will be adding money to the government. And that's why I'm pushing for it. And I will really put a hand on this so that this can take off. I was absent in the city for the last 4 years, and I have to double time because I've always dreamed of having this.
And even Caraga region can come here if there will be an international airport here. Kasi yung airport nila sa Butuan, maliit.
Yeah.
Sa Surigao, maliit.
You know, this
Cannot
was
handle international flights.
This was brought about when we had the Philippine Airlines Gulf Open, the Diamond Philippine Airlines Gulf Open. It is during this period that I was able to sit down with the president and the executive committee of Philippine Airlines because they all stayed in the hotel. I was really not going for the golf first, because I was going for just the PAL and the sponsor because I had vested interest. I wanted to see if we can get something out of Philippine Airlines. And
Yeah.
true enough, the Captain Stanley, which is the president, and Robbie Ang, which is the president of the Philippine Airlines PAL Express, helped and was sold in the idea of helping Cagayan de Oro, Laguindingan Airport, and the rest of Northern Mindanao. So I'm very happy with that, the outcome. And sponsors are willing to give us support at the airport.
That's the most important.
MasterCard, you do
You support na sponsors, sir. Yeah.
the MasterCard will do a promotion for the city, golf, and retail.
Wow.
Then Visa is hoping I'm crossing my fingers, they will agree to buy some more cards for us at the airport. It
Okay,
is the intervention of these two credit cards that will
Ay,
help us.
galing.
Because if we will have to wait, manna will never come down from heaven. There is no such thing.
Yeah.
So these are the
Okay.
things in tourism. Now, come April, we have the Mindanao Travel Fair, the very first travel fair that is being hosted by or being organized by the Department of Tourism.
So when is that? April,
It's
sir?
April 26, 27, 28,
Okay.
the latter part.
Yeah.
And then the big thing that's going to come up is the coming of the VIP, the very important Pinoys.
Yeah.
This is all coming from North America and
Wow.
which means the US and Canada.
Oh, that's
This
very nice.
particular group is 300 persons. It's a combination of the diplomatic community in the US and the rest of the very well-known Filipinos. This has been going on for the last 15 years, but it has never touched base in Cagayan de Oro. And now it's going to be Cagayan de Oro in Bukidnon and Iligan. So finally, we're going to get them. So they're coming in July. I've already signed the contract together as in February of 2025.
Not only Cagayan de Oro will benefit from that, sir, but the whole of Region 10.
Yeah, it's going to Iligan. And
Yeah.
I'm pushing Frederick Xiao to please ensure that the Maria Cristina Falls is finished, because that is one thing
Yeah.
we have to show.
Oh, yung Maria
Because
Cristina
here,
Falls.
I'm proud to have the Maria Cristina
One
Falls
tourist
here.
spots.
That's one of the things
gusto
we have
puntahan
to,
nila.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So there's quite a. I have to do a lot of calling, and hopefully it works, and we can showcase what is there here. What is important is now, for the last 15 years, they've never featured us. Now it's coming to our shore.
Oh,
So we
very
just
good.
have to
Wow.
make the most out of it.
Whew.
It's just managing our expectations and their
So very
expectations.
nice
So
development. Yeah.
hopefully, I'm lucky I have a support of, Mrs. Onabe believes in the projects that I undertake.
The wife of the governor, the first lady
So
of the province.
governor
Yeah.
is in it, so I'm happy with it. As a matter of fact, I wanted something else, but he said no.
Uh-huh.
No, but the governor has been very supportive. We hosted the Indonesian ambassador, we hosted the Malaysian, and Mr. Governor Onabe was on top of the situation.
So
He's
the regional tourism office under Director Onchoan is also
regional.
cooperating with that.
yes,
Yeah, that's very good.
it has to. It is tourism. It's related.
Yeah.
Secretary Frasco is coming into town, so there's more we can see, and she wanted a discussion on what we plan to do. So
Okay.
again, we are in now. We are in the bandwagon. We are in the spotlight, and I hope people will be aware of things. There's more things to come for the year until it's just. Oh, is it only today? April, May, March, April, May, June. So there's a lot more to come. We're working on this. But of course, what is important here again, we need people to implement this. That's why I said
Yes.
it's not just a degree. I need the skills mindset, because I can train you. But if your mindset is different from how it has to be, we will have a problem. We are
Yes.
so relevant with degrees. Wow, we have all the degrees you can think of. Everybody here in Cagayan de Oro
Yeah.
has all degrees. Andon, degree. First
Degree.
degree lang.
Did you know what, Sir Jerome? My latest postings that I read from other countries, they are hiring waiters and waitresses, farm workers in Australia, in New Zealand, dairy workers. Of course, yung usual na mga kasambahay, yung mga helpers sa Hong Kong at saka sa Taiwan. You see, it does not need a degree. So you're very right, you're very correct na let's put more emphasis on the importance of vocational skills and vocational education, sir.
Because it's still marketable. Skills are marketable. Yes,
Yes.
all of them. They may have the degree, but the way they carry themselves is different. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying we all become vocational school. It's not that. It's just
Yeah,
we
yeah.
need a balance. It's a paradigm shift now as to what they really expect. Like for instance, I've been interviewing staff for the hotel, which I find, these are the COVID babies, I call. 2 years of their study are all Zoom. In other words,
Zoom.
naka-Zoom.
Naku.
So which means questionable to. Because ako, in our kind of business,
Yeah.
you need the touch, the feel, and the smell. You cannot touch, feel, and smell in Zoom. So we have a lot of issues in the hotel now, because quite a number of our new hires are what we call the Zoom babies.
Zoom
so they
babies.
are graduates, but not
Via Zoom.
via Zoom.
Receive
so now we
education
have
via
to,
Zoom.
we had to gear our training differently as compared to before, wherein we already know that partially they know what they're talking.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
today,
Okay.
we have hired a lot of chefs, but really, that is still questionable. So now we have to have our own training internally so that we can bring them to a certain level.
Yes.
Why we
That's
do
very
this is
important.
because,
That's good.
as you all know, Cagayan de Oro or Limket Kailaks is the favorite hunting ground of recruiters
Ah,
because
yeah.
they know that we train the staff well.
Wow.
In the past, in my first time here in Cagayan de Oro, I was always against students telling me, "Oh, I'm going to become this and that and this because I want to go abroad." I was very hesitant and about it because when we accept, I interview all the trainees.
Oh.
But today, when the trainee doesn't tell me anything, I get worried because I am assuming that they will go out of the country to earn because their family needs it.
Yeah.
Find that relevance in life, go out of the country, bring the dollars here. That's to me more important now because
Yeah.
you need food on the table for everybody,
Yeah,
especially your family.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
you solve the unemployment, you solve the highest rate of suicide in the bridge. So that
the bridge.
helps a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I am really looking for companies to come to Cagayan de Oro because that will solve the issue of unemployment.
Yes.
It's part of the
Correct.
poverty alleviation program of the Limket Kai group. We help people who needs job.
But before you accept applicants in your establishment, you train them first.
Yes, that's for the hotel. But if I'm looking for companies to open BPOs here, that's the problem of BPOs. All I need to do is give the facility. Meaning, there is a lot of buildings in Cagayan de Oro that can house all the BPOs. All I need to do is a commitment from the
Yeah.
BPOs.
Yeah.
We are an educational hub here. We have all the schools available. Right in front of me is USTP. You have Ateneo, Capital, Liceo.
Oh,
You
yeah.
name it, we have it. Now, all I need is companies in Manila or at least in the Philippines is to come to Cagayan de Oro because we're servicing Bukidnon students. So that means we are gonna turn in Cagayan de Oro as the business hub. We are not a tourist destination because we only have the river rafting and that's not gonna work. So instead of crying about the river rafting area, because it's not been done since the day I arrived in 2015, let's do it a different way.
How?
Let's turn it as a business hub
A business
in
hub,
northern
yeah.
Mindanao. And
Correct.
to me, I think that's more relevant because you will give
Yes.
every graduate an opportunity to make money.
Correct. You're right.
That's
aspect,
my
Mr.
Parang ang running political. Parang natatakbo ako. It's basically simple. I'd love to show the world what we can we have. As a matter of fact, during the travel advisory, I had to write the government, the U.S. ambassador and Canadian ambassador, to tell him I think it is too much already. I am not from Cagayan de Oro. I survived them and they survived me. So I guess everybody will survive. It's just anywhere in the world there is problem. Even if you go to New York, if you're just tatanga-tanga, maho-hold up, mapipickpocket ka. If you go down to Barcelona and you go in front of the Sagrada, watching the church,
In Spain.
in Spain, there's a lot of gypsies. Tapos yung packet mo. I mean, it's just that every time it's in Mindanao, they magnify it. That's also the reason why I've always asked the Cagayan de Oro Press Club, please help us paint a good picture of what we have to offer in Northern Mindanao. Your role is not just to write, crime rates happening, but hopefully you can do some feature writing about Northern Mindanao.
Yeah, that's very important. So we are calling on all our media friends to write more about Mindanao to help the programs on tourism, the programs on vocational skills and education. So before we proceed, let's take a break, sir, for 5 minutes. Kasi may ano din tayo, pangangailangan sa hanap buhay ng programa
Sabi
ito.
sa inyo, kulang ito eh.
Ah,
Kulang yung oras nyo sa akin lang.
yeah, but we will continue after this break. Break muna tayo para may palabas natin yung mga advertisers natin. Okay, Phil? Take it away. Sir, yung sa ano ba? Sa October 20. Okay, welcome back my friends to our program, this Monday's episode. Of course, we are very happy that Sir Jerome of Lux Hotel is with us. He will continue to expound more on other issues. Take it away, sir.
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, I'd rather have skills than just a degree. Kasi
Yes, so-
pwedeng mamera yung degree eh. Meron tinatawag na degree. Yeah, right. Third degree ka ngayon. Kasi in today's rapid changing world, the academic qualification alone is no longer enough to be a successful in your career.
I really...
Kasi you may have the degree, especially nitong COVID, lahat may degree.
Oh.
Ayun. Tapos pagdating sa actual na, patay.
Patay.
Wala. Paano gagamitin? How do we start? Where do we start? That's why to me, it's nice. I understand it was COVID here in the Philippines. as
Dami
well.
nga doktor, sir, pero hindi marunong. May doctorate.
Lahat sila doktor. Gusto lahat doktor. Kung doktor ang
PhD.
labas.
Doctor in philosophy.
Yeah.
Tapos
So,
wala.
That's the problem eh. Kasi hindi naman nila kasalanan. Circumstances
Yeah.
that made it happen. So kami, in the hotel, we have to double time pa. Instead na ina-accept na namin. Of course, yung mga iman to graduate na, hindi na namin pwedeng pabalikin. But nevertheless, that's why now eventually, I want to put up our own Limketay Lux Academy. Talaga dito na naghahasain na.
Bago yan. Maganda
Kasi
yan.
wala eh. Because
Lux Academy.
it is going to be a responsibility of Limket Kailaks to train people of Cagayan na.
This that can easily accommodate you sa
No, I have to sort this
accreditation.
out. I have to sort it out with the department, with CHED.
With
Because
CHED.
basically it has to be sanctioned by them.
Yeah.
So that when we fill them out, it's to us our corporate social responsibility.
Oh,
We will
yes,
be
yeah,
responsible to
Yeah.
train you so that
Okay.
you can make a living for yourself.
Yeah.
Because we can only accommodate so much in the hotel. We don't have a big hotel unless I have a 1,000-room hotel. That's a different story.
Okay.
So the second is skills are the new currency of the job market. And those who have them will easily succeed. Simple. May skill ka eh. Ako, I hire on attitude first. Taka na yung skill because I will train you the skill. But yung attitude plays a very important role. Wala ka na, bago ka palang
Interested.
saltang, ay nako, patay ka sa akin. It happened
Pwede
to
ka
us.
interested, wag na lang.
Hindi, ganito yung nangyari. I will not name the agency. We pay them 75% of the salary. 25% sila. Now, what happened was, these are out-of-school youth. I took this because I want to encourage the out-of-school youth to find jobs and to be relevant to society and also give them a future, make direction. Wow, they come every 15th and 30. Ko-kolekta. They will arrive on the first day, tapos mawawala sa immediate, and then they come back on the 15th. I had to cancel that program because it's no longer, to me, beneficial for, at least for us, but more so for them kasi natatamad na. And to me, I have to make it so interesting. So that's where I failed. How come I cannot make this government entity make their trainees interested in the job? So anong gagawin ko? Magiging problem ito later on because they will be staying at home instead of helping their families. These are youth, huh? So we must really invest in vocational education and training to ensure that our workforce has the skills needed to compete in the global market. What does it mean? In the past, kasi pag sinabing graduate ng vocational school, tingin, vocational school lang. Kaya mo bang buhayin yung pamilya ko? That's not the way it is today. This is different era already. Tapos na yung era niya. If you have the degree and the skill, lalong mas magaling. But you have a lot of vacations, especially mga welders.
Walang skill.
Nakakakuha ng skill, they work abroad. All you need to do is somebody to give you an opportunity. But you need to have the skill, even if somebody gives you that opportunity to work outside of the country. Kung wala kang skill, di wala din. Ganun kasimple yan.
Mga doktor at nurses na pumupunta sa Amerika, pagdating doon, caregivers.
Yes, that's the one that is an issue now. They graduated here, they passed here, pagdating doon, hindi. Because there is something lacking in our training. So they need to license themselves. And the thing here is, in the States, the California license is the hardest to get. So that means kada state mo may lisensya ka.
May lisensya.
That's the problem.
Yan ang
But
problema.
in Singapore, wala naman. In Singapore, they're very good at hiring Filipino nurses. Kasi in Singapore, it's a 2-year program. While the Aten Bachelor of Arts. So the future belongs to those who can adapt and learn new skills quickly. Ako, as an employer, I want to get somebody who hits the ground running. Ito ang position apply, go. Hindi na yung Ito yung position, ita-train pa bago pa-go.
Ah.
So that's a different. We need a paradigm shift from degree-focused education system to the one that focus on developing skills
Okay.
and their competence. Kasi skill-based education is not only beneficial for the individual, but also to the business and the economy as a whole. Kasi babayad yan ng tax niya. Employers today are looking for candidates who can hit the ground. Ako, yan ang ano ko. So, it's time to rethink the approach of education. I'm sure DepEd and CHED will kill me for this. Prioritize the development of practical skills that can be applied to the real world.
Yeah.
Skills are the key for unlocking opportunity, driving innovation, and creating a brighter future. Tama yung mga welders na umaalis dito. Mas madami tayong welders na umaalis kasi skill. Tapos yung ating mga 4-year degree sa HRM, ayun, room attendant na. So, pwede naman i-train sila differently, but
Yeah.
we need work. So, in the modern workplace, success depends not on what degree you have,
Yeah.
but what skills you bring on the table.
Alright.
That is what is important. Ngayon, yung mga wannabe leaders,
Yeah, wannabe leader.
yung mga wannabe managers,
Yes.
okay,
Important.
yung mga leaders are supposed to lead the people. To lead the people, one should first manage the people. And a good leader is responsible for instilling a dynamic management filled with enthusiastic and inspiring men. As a GM, I am supposed to be the conductor. My role is to make the department heads and their skills relevant to the society.
Relevant. That's more
So
important.
what does that mean? Meaning I have to train to ensure that the managers or department heads are well versed of what they're going to do. Kasi mataas ang expectation. For Limket kay Lux, being a leading hotel and the pride and glory of Cagayan, so we cannot fall short. I mean, we really have to address the issue. The biggest problem is staff. There is not enough staff who has the skills
What's the skills?
set that we want. So we have to start doing
Sayang,
our
ano,
own
yung iba
training. It's,
talagang, ano?
I think it's, I guess one of the effects of the COVID. Business is still not there, but it doesn't mean we can slacken because sabihin natin walang business o ganyan lang service namin. It doesn't work that way. We are the windows of Cagayan de Oro. So we cannot afford not to be on top of the situation. So as a manager, your role is to make sure your people are aware of what the activities and the responsibility it takes. Kasi iba dyan gusto department head o kaya manager. Pero iwas po sa problema. Pag may problema, the staff, they run. So I need good managers that have great people skills. They have to learn how to listen first and talk later and effectively communicate and learn how to delegate. That makes you a good.
Delegation is very, very important aspect.
So, but
Learn how
you
to
need to
delegate.
train them.
Yes.
Kasi may tendency of people is to not, there's this saying, knowledge is power. Yes, I agree with you. But if you don't share the knowledge, you will also be useless.
Yeah, that's it. That's correct.
That's a concept people are so afraid kasi they fear that they will get their jobs. If you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
Either whatever, any kind. Meron lang talagang paradigm shift. Knowledge is power if you know.
There's some message. Someone
asking if you're grade 12 graduate,
pwede
pwede
ba na
ba
maka-apply sa
mag-apply?
4-star hotel?
Let me check. How old are you? Because this is important. Because as long as you are not yet considered adult, I may not hire you. Because I need somebody
Who is
kasi you're
adult?
working in a certain environment. I don't want to be a child, I don't want to have children. Di ba may child, employment, may rule yan eh.
Oo,
So
meron
I
yan.
want to make sure I am protected because if anything happens to you as a staff,
Yes.
I will be responsible regardless of your age. That means pwede ko siyang employ. Hindi na adult na siya.
Adult na.
Pag
tama.
children, mahirap.
Mahirap.
There's so much requirement and I don't want to be into that problem later on. And plus,
mga
even
minors.
if you're adult, minor yan eh. So even if you're adult, whatever happens to you, that's why I'm very strict. You time in, don't go out. Kasi pag lumabas ka, something happens, ako mananagot sa pamilya
Correct.
mo. So I'm very keen on that.
Yeah.
We had a Montessori program that I had to cut short because child yan as far as yan. So nag-i-employ ako ng minor.
Nako.
Kinancel ko yung program na yun.
Tama.
Even if it's training. What we have now is the immersion projects with Marawi, MSU Marawi, MSU IIT, Bukidnon State University. So what does it mean? Immersion, yung mga teachers of the HRM, Hospitality and Restaurant Management are coming to Cagayan to train in the hotel. What does the immersion means? I will bring you to the lowest employee to the highest. In other words, to my level and how the whole hotel works. So you have more information, more relevant, hindi yung binabasa yung libro during lecture. And that's what I hate the most.
Yeah.
If you have questions, please do.
Just send in
What
your
is there?
questions.
Send in your questions.
Yeah.
While
While we go to the next topic that you are...
basically, it's
just
being
wait.
a good manager.
Yeah.
It's one of the things, dalawang klase yan eh. Is a good leader, a good manager? No. Not next. You have to be both. You know, a leader leads people and you manage the people. So often, you try to be funny at times when you're dealing with your managers. You got to be both. It cannot be just one. A leader who gets down managing things will serve as an inspiration. I hope I've done that. For my managers and even to my staff. A leader needs to be broken down and become a manager. Of course, my biggest dream is all my staff becomes manager. When I was working in China, my second assignment in mainland China was in Shanghai, where I became a front office manager. And then eventually, after a year and a half, I took on the director of sales and marketing. All the members of both front office and sales and marketing, all of them are now GMs for Starwood, Marriott, and Hilton. So to me, that's my contribution. I mean, whether they land other people outside of the Holiday Inn Crown Plaza group and the Hilton, to me that is immaterial. For as long as they acknowledge that whatever I have brought them, yes, I have not changed my style. I will pressure you, push you to the wall because that's the only way your real self comes in. That's the way I trained. Even when I was teaching in Assumption, dadaan ka sa butas ng karayong Fabiola. Hindi ako easy to deal with.
Napaka-strict mo siguro.
Yes, because that's the only thing I can impart. I have no riches to share with you, but my riches is my knowledge.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
correct.
more important. And it's something that's
That's more
relevant
important.
because your salary will go high with the skill set that you have.
Yeah.
So, pwede po daw mag-apply ang 40, apply siya?
42.
Of course.
Wow.
Come
Kaya.
and send your CV or come to the hotel, to the HR, Human Resources Department, and they will gladly make you, and then I shall interview you. And just tell them you heard it on the radio.
42 years old. Oh. Supra na yun.
Okay naman.
Major na yun. Hindi na
67
minor yun.
na
Major na.
Walang matanda. As a matter of fact, for as long as you're willing to work,
Yeah.
and you're going to there's a little sacrifice working for a hotel. It's not also easy because you're dealing with guest personalities and it's just a job. Remember that. Minsan nagtatatalak yung mga guests, but it's just a job. Don't take it personally. because they just want to show off. Wala na discrimination, but to
Wala.
me, I don't discriminate if
Basta may
you're
skills
if you have
ka
the
or
skills.
You
I'll
are
take
willing
you
to be
in.
trained. Okay.
Kasi minsan nga you want somebody who is fresh graduate. That's what man na work. Gusto nila pa call center. Easy life.
Yeah.
It's the hardest part is really when you deal with guests or people. Because the expectations, especially if you work in a hotel, the expectations is always high, especially because of Limcat Guy's stature today. I mean, it's different if some hotel along CM Recto.
Yeah.
One of the things also that's important, we are going to spearhead the bidding of big conventions now. So there is what you call the CM Recto Consortia, which consists of Mulberry, me, Seda, A1 Express, VIP Hotel, renovated floor only. Tapos yung, what is name? Ano ba yung isang hotel doon?
In hotel, di kasama?
N Hotel kasi is the farthest end. So if we run out, that's the only time. But otherwise, we just,
Layo kasi.
the us,
Yeah.
and ano yung isa pa doon, New Dawn, okay na kami. Unless it's a big client.
Yeah.
Now, the highest we went was 1,000. Now, I have a request. A client wants me to handle 4,000. I said, yeah, we will put the tent on CM Recto. We don't have enough. Now, if there's anybody listening today who have the money, especially
Sama mo na yung mga resort na may mga
Chinese, please,
accommodation.
you know who you are. I'm telling you, put up a hotel. I'll help you with that hotel of yours. Just put it up because it takes 2 years to make a hotel. It's just, because you have to do the ground.
Yes,
You have to excavate. Hindi naman pwedeng pinatong lang sa karsada yung, you just don't put your hotel on top of the island. Of course, you need to give a strong foundation. All the hotels that are going to open today must have a ruler so that if the earth moves, the whole building moves. Not like some buildings in Veles, no? Pag move talaga. Patay. Like what happened in Taiwan.
Siya?
Wala na.
Baka meron siyang itatanong. Mahina daw signal niya kanina. Meron? Wala?
I-type mo na lang ang question.
There's one point, Sir Jerome. There's one point I want to ask your suggestion. I and Manny Jaudian, especially Dr. Jaudian, is the National Director of ITIAP Criminology for PINMA School Network. ITIAP is Expanded Tertiary Education Accreditation Program, which means that those who are in service at least 5 years, military and uniformed personnel, can have a degree on criminology within 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. So, I am asking you if this could be applied for the HRM. What can you say about the
Actually,
schools?
none of the people, a lot of people working in the hotel departments are not HRM. I didn't graduate HRM. I was communication arts and marketing, but all along, I am in the hotel industry.
Yeah.
I started in 1977 in J. Walter Thompson. And that time, I was assigned to Intercon and Panam account. Panam is the current, United Airlines today.
Okay.
Intercontinental Hotels and Resort became IHG, which is owned by Holiday Inn. So it doesn't necessarily, as long as you have the knack for dealing with guests, the skills, it's gonna be easy.
Hindi na kailangan
Unless talagang
ang degree.
chef. I mean, that one talaga, you really have to have that skill. Because also, even if you have the skills, you went to hotel school, you went to cooking school. Cooking is from the heart. Otherwise, lasa is bad.
Sige, wala ka. No, it's not from the heart. Hindi masarap yung luto mo.
It will not taste good. I mean, you want to cook something that's like you're cooking for your family.
Yeah.
You want the best. Otherwise, you will have a lot of complaint.
Correct. So, we have no more time, Sir Jerome. Ubos na yung oras natin for this program. And maybe you have a parting statement before we end this program, sir.
Well, I'm very happy to be back here in Cagayan de Oro, and I have more relevance now that I took on the position of chairman for the tourism committee. So I will be sitting in most of the board meetings and meetings for this to ensure that we in northern Mindanao, at least for Misamis Oriental and
Yeah, and Cagayan de Oro.
Cagayan de Oro, is up front. We're spearheading the tourism campaign for the city and for the province.
Yeah, we would be very happy if you can talk with the one in charge sa Lagindingar Airport for the convenience of
Yes,
the
I
incoming
will.
and departing passengers.
I will sit down. I'm supposed to sit down with him, but it's just that
Yeah,
my
that's very good, sir.
schedules are really upside down as well. But I will find time to sit with him this week.
Okay, very much. Thank you very much, sir. So, mga kaibigan, mga higala, wala na kita'y panahon. Ang atong main host, wala, hinay ang signal kay tuwa man siya sa Manila. So, we will just have this episode ended with Sir Jerome of the Lux Hotel. No? Thank you very much, Sir Jerome, and thank you very much to all sa iyong mga messages, iyong questions, and your support and views para magpadayon so that we can continue with this public affairs program of Mindanao Daily News Network, ang Kalandrakas. Thank you and good afternoon.
Facebook page. Muli, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.